Welcome to Reread. Now it's time to go through the Empire comic books, issues 1 through 4. Oh man. When Empire came out, I was so excited because I wanted to hear more about the Empire. I think Rebellion was already out now. I was like, oh good, we get to hear more about the Imperial side of things. And we did, at least for these first 4 issues. This one revolves around the Grand Inquisitor Trekta, I don't know how you pronounce his name, and I don't care. But he is teaming up with Grand Moff Bartum, and they want to take out the Emperor and Darth Vader. Now, he has assembled a small, loyal group of stormtroopers, and they're going, well, how is that going to, help us kill Vader and the Emperor? Well, what he does is he sets up a fake assassination attempt that he knows Palpatine won't fall for, or the Red Guards. But because there was an assassination attempt that came close, the Emperor orders more they order more stormtroopers to come and guard the palace. Those stormtroopers are selected by Trekta, and he is the one who is putting his faithful stormtroopers in there. So eventually, when an uprising happens, there's going to be tons of stormtroopers inside the palace who can kill the Emperor. And there's also the same stormtroopers have infiltrated Vader's personal army, and they're going to turn on him too. So it's just a big setup to kill, because you got to knock out Darth Vader. You got to separate the two. The Emperor puts Darth Vader on a mission to hunt down a Jedi. You're thinking, whoa, Matt, is this a contradiction? Because the Emperor doesn't want him to hunt down Jedi. No, the Emperor does it on purpose because he knows it's a way to bait Vader, and maybe he's testing Vader. We don't really know, but the Emperor knew all about this grand scheme. He knew there was someone conspiring against him. He knew there were treacherous people. He wanted to know who, and he knew also that they would come and attack him when Vader wasn't there. So he sent Vader not on a wild goose chase, but he sent Vader away on purpose. Okay, and then of course when the failed coup is defeated, the Emperor's calling on like the last remaining conspirator there, and he's admitting that he was the brains behind it all. He's like, okay, well, I'll let you live, but when Vader, discovers you set him up, I don't think he'll let you live. And he says, well, Vader's already dead. We've set up a trap for him too. And what happens is Vader's basically alone on the planet, and a bunch of bounty hunters there are like, wait, we could get a lot of money for taking out Vader. And so they all team up against Vader. Well, Boba Fett is among the bounty hunters. Now, again, this is kind of early here, and I don't know how early I would put this, because they are talking about the Death Star coming together soon. He's going to be serving Tarkin. So it obviously happens later. And Boba Fett has probably worked with Darth Vader a few times, but instead of killing Darth Vader, he turns his back on he turns to the next bounty hunter beside him and shoots him in the head, and then he jumps into the fray and helps Darth Vader. He's like, I hope you remember this. And Darth Vader goes, Fett, he said, don't make me think, he said, don't make this appear something more than what it's worth. You knew these were no match for me. Like, Vader's like, I didn't even need your help. Get out of here. But, Boba Fett's just reminding him, remember whose side I picked when the odds were stacked against you. So that's what's been going on with Vader. For the Emperor, it's really cool. He uses as his Imperial Guards. There's a lot of great action in here. The Imperial Guards start whooping up on the stormtroopers. The Emperor shoots lightning at everyone, and then finally kills the last co-conspirator of the coup. And then he and Vader kind of meet up at the end and pat each other on the back. And he says, "Hey, I'm going to ship you off to go see Tarkin in a minute." So it's setting up for the events that will be episode 4. We're still, it's hard to say how far we're out at this point. I mean, it's less than 2 years now, maybe a year even. So we're getting close to the movies. But at the same time, that was a good story. And that got my hopes up that there'd be better stories like that. But as you guys know, they just started telling just more Rebel Alliance stories afterwards. It was just a line to do more Alliance story, Rebel stories. Like, well, you already got a comic book for that. But anyway, the first 4 issues of Empire, not bad. What about the next ones? Well, I'll review those later.